So how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. You know the deal. Alive and kicking. Busy week, putting out fires just until practice starts, which is pretty much what coaching is, just putting out as many fires as you possibly can until we start practice. Just got a lot going on. Finalizing a visit. Got a pretty big visit going on this weekend. Finalizing, we got an elite camp coming up 28th and 29th. So we've been dealing with that. Just a lot of stuff that, got to take care of. How about you?
I hear that. Yeah, a lot of. I guess I could refer to you as the fireman then.
The fireman.
Putting out fire.
Have you seen the new
I'm
Malice?
great, Asa, by the way, but keep going.
Good. I'm glad you're doing great. Hey, have you seen the new Malice at the Palace doc?
No, and I told Brooke, I said, hey, we're gonna have to watch this.
You need to watch it. It's very good. So I have a story about Ron Artest. So when I was like in the fourth grade, this was right after. I don't want to say right after, but it was after the Malice at the Palace, and we were at school. I was at Lipscomb Elementary School, fourth grade, and at lunchtime, like we were all going to the Brentwood Y. Everybody was playing there, playing pickup there all day, every day at the Brentwood Y. And so anyway, we had heard that Ron Artest was at the Brentwood Y that morning, and he was going to be at the Brentwood Y the next day working out. And from somebody, right? So we're like, no way, Ron Artest going to be there. So I go home and tell my dad, and my mom ran at the time up at the Brentwood Y like every day. So my mom goes, does a little run. And and so she's looking down, and there's this dude that's got like an NBA shirt on, and he's big, he's moving around working out. And so she calls my dad, and my dad goes, and she says, Danny, you might want to come up here. There's a pretty big guy out on the court right now, and he's got an NBA shirt on, he's dunking it. He looks like I don't know if it's Ron Artest, but it might be him. And my dad goes, I'm coming up there right now. Dad speeds up to Brentwood Y, goes in the gym, and it's Ron Artest working out at the Brentwood YMCA.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Why was he there? Did your dad talk to him?
No, I don't think my dad said anything. He may have shook his hand or something. I can't remember what the connection was at the time. The only thing I can think of is maybe because David Harrison was on that Pacers team.
Okay.
And so maybe that was the only Brentwood Nash. I'm not sure. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, Ron Artest. Not long after the brawl was at the Brentwood Y.
Well, holy cow.
Very good documentary, though. Go check it out.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Pretty cool.
How old were you at this time? I mean, you had to be what, 12?
What? No, I was fourth or fifth grade. I was like 6. No, not 6.
Fourth or fifth grade?
I don't know. Dude. All right, now you got me all flustered. You've been off this whole time. Get out of here.
Fourth or fifth grade? You were 10. You were 10.
I was 10. 10.
So I was closer than 6.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I just threw a number. I was thinking grade age. Yeah, I told you the whole thing, and then you come back and you ask me.
When was Malice at the Palace? When did that happen? What year?
2004. It was November of 2004.
Okay, let's do some easy math. You were born in 94. You 10 years.
But I just told you the story, and then you twisted my mind because you were asking me the questions that I just told you about.
You said 6. My fault. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a little bit.
Can you introduce this thing, please?
I'm sorry. Anyway, this is the Mind of a Coach podcast. This is episode 49. Asa, basketball player number 49.
Hey, we had to Google it. Here we go. Only 2 players have worn the jersey number 49 in NBA history. The only player to wear it for more than one season was Shandon Anderson. Anderson did it to start off his career wearing number 49, and that looks like it was with the Knicks. Shandon Anderson. What?
Who was the other one? You said 2 players.
Oh, it wasn't in there. Hang on.
Oh, don't worry about it then. Don't worry about it. But hey, I mean, if you're a rookie, you gotta snag that number. Like, you can make one number historic. Like, don't grab 23. Don't be like everybody else.
Look at Luka. He grabbed 77.
And I mean, he's the best offensive lineman playing right now in the NBA. I mean, is Luka a top 10 player? I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about this too long, but is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is too.
I mean,
especially what he was doing internationally.
I mean, if you had to pick, if you had to start a franchise, he's one of the 10 players you're picking.
100%. I would agree with that. Yeah. But I'm still starting my franchise. I know that sounds crazy with LeBron James.
Yeah,
I know he's 30.
Tough sell these days, but
it's really not. It's really not even a tough sale. It's not. It's just not.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Because if you were an organization, and obviously you could say Giannis, like, because he's younger, but I would rather win now. And
I mean,
yes, like I
if we're
just
saying
said,
for,
Giannis did just win, but like I'm trying to win championships. So if I have the opportunity to win 2 championships, like if that's the highest opportunity, instead of like, oh, maybe it happens over a 10-year span, I'm going for now and then I can rebuild. So
sure, this year, yeah, absolutely, but yeah.
I'm getting LeBron James. So anyway, Asa, what do you have to get? That was what I had to get off mine. What do you have to get off your chest?
Have you? Well, first of all, if you're not watching Dave, you should. I'm talking to you and the people in general. If people have not been watching Dave, you need to get on Dave. Season 2. What are you looking at me like that for?
Because
Season 2.
I haven't finished
I'm
watching
not
it.
going to spoil it. No spoilers.
Okay,
No
okay, okay,
spoilers.
okay,
No
okay.
spoilers. And only thing I'm saying is this: I'm not saying it's the best ending, one of the best endings I've ever seen, but it is one of my favorite endings that I've ever seen in a TV show. It's awesome. And you also sent us the Atlanta thing. Atlanta has nothing on Dave.
Okay. I mean, once again, I just knew that Aaron watched Atlanta, so that's why I sent it.
Yeah. Well, Dave is great.
I actually don't watch Atlanta, but I saw it and I was like, oh, this will make Aaron happy. So
I thought about Aaron when I was watching the Mouse at the Palace doc too. Made me feel bad for him because he's a Pacers fan.
yeah. Hey, don't throw stuff at players. I mean, that's the moral of the story to this one. Don't mess with players, and players won't mess with you because they are bigger and stronger than you, especially in the NBA. Like what happens to people and they're more like their sense of judgment, like that they think all of a sudden that I can just throw things at other people.
Because they paid to be in there, I guess.
Well, they're paying to be in there too.
I don't know. Yeah.
Or no, they're getting paid to be in
They're
there.
getting paid to be in there.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. You throw something at me, and I mean, I'll probably just like keep walking, just like whatever. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Yeah, I got really lucky, man. I'm excited to be here. It's been fun.
No doubt. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. If you don't mind, we're going to go ahead and get into it real quick. We have Coach Mark Schult on the show with us today. He was the captain of a state championship team in Kentucky at Covington Catholic High School in 2014. He was a student assistant at Wittenberg University, where he got his undergrad. After that, he became heavily involved on the AAU circuit. After that, he became an assistant at Clark State College. And then on to becoming a graduate assistant at West Georgia for 2 years, where he earned his master's. And then he just got a new position as an assistant coach at Center College. Coach, congratulations on the new gig. Thank you for coming on. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Thank you for having me. It's been fun. Been a little crazy getting settled in a new job, but I'm excited for it.
I was about to say, so tell us a little bit about that transition.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I just said, I spent the last 2 years at the University of West Georgia. Phenomenal school, phenomenal program with Coach Dave Moore. Was really hoping to have a chance to stay on there. But as the summer was going on and we were getting closer and closer to that August, I realized that I probably wasn't going to be able to stay there. I just got really lucky that I saw that center and had an opening. Coach Greg Mason, who I'm working for now, and actually recruited me out of high school.
Wow.
We had that connection from about 7-8 years ago, and fortunately, I called him, and he was real happy to hear from me, and went through the interview process and was able to get hired. So it was a long July. It's been a little hectic, but I think that's how it goes for everybody in this business.
Sure.
I was gonna ask you. I mean, I'm sure it had to be hectic moving, all of a sudden. And how was the whole time frame? Kind of from the time that you found out it was going to happen to the time that you had to get up, go, and get to center.
Yep. So it was early July when I had interviewed. I can't remember I think the first Friday or second Friday in July is when I interviewed. On campus, and then they called me on Monday and made me the offer. And then I accepted it that week. And then, there's administrative stuff that kind of has to, background checks and application stuff, all that fun things that take time. So about mid-July, it was official, and I started, being able to recruit a little bit, get on the road and talk to some kids. And then, officially, I just moved down here last week, second week of August, so that took a little bit of time, but fortunately from COVID, I know how to work remote, like we all do. So
Yes.
it wasn't too bad having to do that. But like I said, I'm thrilled to be here and settled and getting started now.
No doubt. So
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Ace.
I was going to say, yeah, so talk to us about the team this year. How are you feeling about it? Being in a new place, what are the expectations? And I'm sure you're excited. What's the team looking like?
Yeah, it should be good. Center's a really good Division III program. Coach Mason's been here for 21 years as the head coach, even longer as an assistant and then a player before then. But the tradition here is great. We've won 11 out of our last 15 conference titles. So that's kind of the
Wow.
standard. So we're hoping to get back to that point. We did lose our leading scorer from last year, but we returned about three other starters, 5 or 6 guys who in total who played, 2 guys off the bench. And then we've got a really strong freshman class, 5 or 6 guys, mostly from around the state of Kentucky, a couple kids from Tennessee. And it's exciting. It's kind of strange coming off a COVID year. Last season was not the same for a lot of Division III schools as the D1s and D2s. So they only played 8 games.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went to watch film, and Coach Mason's like, "Don't even look at last year; just look at 2 years ago to see." But it's an exciting time. We like I said, we've got a good group of freshmen. We will be having 2 or 3 freshmen that we're going to be dependent on. But hopefully, I think they're up to it. We're going to learn some lessons early, I think. But as long as we stay together and stick to the plan, I think we'll have a good chance to be in the mix come February, March.
Awesome. So remind me again, how long have you been there now at center? I mean, I know when you took the position, but how long have you been there?
Have I actually been here?
Yes. Yes.
About 4 days.
There you go.
I moved to town for 4 days, but in that interim period, where I hadn't moved in yet, but I accepted the job, I was coming down once or twice a week, just to get settled,
Okay.
get in the office, and get situated with everything.
Gotcha. Okay, so it hasn't been a long time, I guess, so far. You're probably still getting your toes wet. What has been the biggest difference from your role at West Georgia to your role now? If you've been able to notice one, like a big difference yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. At West Georgia, I was a GA. We had an assistant coach who I shared an office with. And at West Georgia, I could just bug him all day and night, asking him questions about, how do we do it here? How do these work? You guys know how it is. Every school's got a different way of, the paperwork and administrative side of things. So I've kind of been having to just, been thrown into the fire, trying to figure out, what the processes are at center. Go out recruiting and, get registered and all that type of stuff. But in terms of roles, it'll be a lot of similarities, honestly. I was fortunate at West Georgia to do a lot, and be able to touch every area of the program. But I do know at center, I'll do a lot more recruiting than I have in the past, and that'll involve going to a lot more games and, making a lot more calls, writing a lot more letters, and sending out the mailers. Which will be fun. And then I'll get to do the scouting reports and the team ops stuff behind the scenes too, like I did at West Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only assistant on staff, so you're thrown all the way in.
A little bit. We actually are going to get a volunteer assistant who's going to be a huge help for us.
Wow.
Waiting for that to be announced and everything, but it'll be good, just to have an extra set of hands and another basketball mind on staff.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, we've been dying for managers. So every time we have we only had I don't know, 3 this past year, only had 2 really this summer. And now we have 6 or 7 of them. And it's so nice because now 2 of them have cars. So that's one of the first things we ask, do you have cars? We're getting food for the guys all the time. So we have a lot of, it's so nice, man, when you got kids that are especially reliable. And they want to be there at work and just help out the team any way they can. You were a student assistant yourself. And now, so you did not play college, is that correct? You were a student assistant?
I played 2 years. I
2
played
years.
My first
Okay.
2 years. My 3rd year, we had a coaching change.
Okay.
Me and about 6 or 7 other, sophomores, juniors to be ended up getting cut.
Yeah.
Which was hard at 20 years old, but it kind of opened my doors to another path. I kind of knew that I wasn't gonna not go to practice every day. So when my playing career ended, it was like, how can I get in the gym? And the student assistant role is the route I took, and I'm really glad I did, looking back at it.
Yeah. That's kind of, well, I kind of wanted to ask you about that, just because I'm sure it gave you a different perspective. Especially, I didn't realize that that happened in the middle of your college career like that. I'm sure it was tough, like you said. I guess, what was there a different perspective that you gained from going through that and then stepping into a student assistant role that kind of prepared you for where you're at now?
Absolutely. The number one thing is the time, I think. I mean, coaches, you guys know it. Everybody watches the games. Everybody, the big time schools play on TV and they see that, but there's just so much that goes into it. The planning, prep, the meals, the travel, that the average fan, a lot of players don't even see.
Oh, I was about to say the players. I mean, when we played, it was we're supposed to have food, and the food is there, and thank you, and we keep moving. But like, you didn't realize that they called in, however long in advance, set those tables up,
Right, right, and called in, and I'm sure you do this. You're confirming with them 2 and 3 times. Okay, we're still good. Pre-game meal 6 o'clock.
Just please. Whoa. No. I said 18 people. I said 18. Please add 2 more. Please add 2 more. Yes. No, it's nuts. But anyway.
Have y'all ever had a meal coming and it be like the end of the game and it's going over and you're like doing some math in your head and you told them to get there, let's say at 9 o'clock, and you're doing the math with the numbers and you're like, oh, I hope this doesn't go into overtime. Then it goes into overtime. Now you got to call like the restaurant, say, hey, hold it, or oh my gosh.
Well, you said it before with the managers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got so lucky at West Georgia. I'll never forget. We were playing at Montevallo like a Tuesday night. Nate knows Montevallo. I mean, you're in West Alabama. Yeah. I mean,
where did you guys stay in Montevallo? Did you guys stay all the way in Alabaster?
That's what we would have done. We ended up just doing a day trip for the weeknight game.
Gotcha.
But had we made it to the conference finals, we would have stayed in Alabaster.
And Asa, that's like 35 minutes away from Montevallo. That's the closest spot. So,
but we were at Montevallo. Came out slow in the game and clawed our way back. Second half going back and forth, forced an overtime. And I thank God to this day that our managers traveled with us that day, because we're in the huddle, getting ready to end regulation. I feel my phone buzzing. I'm like, uh-oh. So I'm like looking around, and thankfully our managers were there, and he was walking off the court like this, trying to do circles around the gym, find the driver. But I lucked out. There were definitely a few drivers who I kept waiting, in the locker, when we were in the locker room and the end of the game. But all that was just awesome experience, and it's so fun looking back at it.
So, Asa, did you ever see the tweet where it was a tweet about like, who is this guy calling on the bench?
Yes.
And like one of the coaches was like on the phone. It was like, oh, well, you've never been a college coach if you don't understand what he's doing right now.
Post-game meal, dude. Post-game meal.
He's trying to take care of everybody.
So hang on. So when y'all, I'm walking through my own, kind of my own. Did y'all ask y'all's players for like what they wanted for post-game meal? Was it just, hey, this is what y'all are getting, you don't have a say in it? Did you go with the same thing every time? A local, like how did you do that?
So at West Georgia, we personalized them, So I would just make a spreadsheet.
Yep.
Entree, side 1, side 2, notes. No tomato, no mayo, all that stuff. And obviously there were some times we would get the box lunch from Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
I mean that's easy, but we would personalize it. That was always fun. If you don't get the barbecue sauce, that would be a big deal.
Or the ranch.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God forbid, they don't give you like an extra side that you asked for. And then they're like looking at you, hey, so where's my side at? Like, dude, I put it in there, man. I didn't make all this. I don't know.
we got to the point, we were lucky at West Georgia with the budget and everything, but like we go to Applebee's, I'm like, just put 5 extra side orders of fries. Like that'll be good. Just put the extra.
Oh my goodness. We ordered Chick-fil-A a little bit this year, quite a few times. And I asked for so many sides. Like I would get so many sides that I now have a drawer in my fridge that is. I haven't bought like a single side or dressing since basketball season. Dead serious.
Oh yeah, I used to bring the box of the extra sauces home. That was the best.
That's what I'm saying. I have a full refrigerator drawer of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every time I'm like, hey, look, if they get individual trays, I'm like, look, put 3 in each tray, and then like give me 45 extra on the side too.
Right.
No, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. So anyway, so going back to your college days, tell me a little bit about that. Obviously, Asa hinted on it a little bit about that transition and how it might have prepared you to be a coach. But what was it like during the time?
Yeah, like I said, it was hard. I mean, you guys know, like, you play college basketball, you gotta love it, especially Division III, especially at the smaller schools. You go from playing in your high school where it's a big deal in the community, playing at college where you might be driving 3 hours on a Tuesday to play in front of 100 people. And, so I really did love the game and still do, obviously. But, we had a coaching change, and, I could kind of see the writing on the wall as we began practice, just being on the red team or whatever. And my mindset at the time was, as a player, as coaches, as cultures and programs, you always talk about putting the team first, and if I can't score, okay, I'm going to impact rebounding, or I'm going to impact on the defensive end. And then when I got cut, couldn't do those things either. My mindset was kind of, how can I stay in the gym, and how can I continue to contribute? And, I approached the coaching staff about it, and thankfully they were really open to it. And from that experience, that was, like you said, that was my first look into coaching at the college level. And it was just really valuable. Like I said, I noticed the time difference first. It just goes into the preparation to the closing down of everything. But getting to be around basketball like that is something I wouldn't trade for the world.
Yeah.
Dude, well, first of all, shout out to you for having that attitude, because it takes a mentally tough, strong person to go through that situation and come out on top on the other side of it. I want to ask you about Kentucky high school basketball and your experience winning a state championship in Kentucky. Nate and I are from Tennessee. The state tournaments are different. You got 4, maybe 5 now in Tennessee, 6 maybe. I'm not sure, 6 I think in Tennessee. Obviously in Kentucky there's 1. My dad's from Kentucky. He grew up there. We had a guy on the podcast, Keaton Belcher from Kentucky. He and his buddies would take visits every year to the Sweet 16. Just kind of tell me about what it was like winning a state championship in Kentucky.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So like you said, the Kentucky high school state tournament is just one division, big schools, small schools, all of them. Basically, you have to finish in the top 2 of your district. You have to win your region, and there are 16 regions. So that's where the Sweet 16 comes from. Play 4 rounds at Rupp Arena. I growing up, I had 2 older brothers who played at Covington Catholic, and there was no team had ever won state before. I think in the 60s, we had a team that was a runner-up. So watching my brothers, it was always like, we just got to get to Rupp. Just make it to the Sweet 16. We got a historic season. It's fun. And that was my mindset when we got there. And then after a brutal first half, it kind of hit us, and our coach in the locker room at halftime, if there's any Cov Cath guys watching, they know what I'm talking about. But that's when it kind of like it clicked. Like, hey, we're here. We're not just here to be here. We're here to win. So we got lucky being on the bottom of the bracket. So we were the last game each night. Got to play 4 games in 4 days to win the state title. And that was just crazy experience. Another game where we were up 7-2, and then we were trailing the rest of the game, and forced an overtime. Ended up winning by 8 in overtime, and
wait for the state championship.
The state championship.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it was an unbelievable experience, And if I think they said there were about 14,000 people there at Rupp Arena, which is like which is barely more than half of what it holds.
Yeah, like 60% full or something.
Right, but it was still, just the gym was rocking when we won, and the noise. Like, I remember playing, and like after we hit the bucket to go up 8, and that was the game. Mm-hmm. Like I looked around, I was like, wait a second, like there's still time on the clock. Like it really struck me all at once at the end. But that was a crazy experience, and Coach Rusatz, Scott Rusatz at Covington Catholic is is a huge piece in that. Just the culture he built, the attitude, the mindset of working hard and being selfless teammates is something that I still carry with me today.
So you got a little bragging rights within the family, huh?
a little bit, but you know, they beat up on me for years, and that's why I was able to do that.
Yeah. Are they in coaching or anything? Do they play after college or get anything like that?
No, they're not. My oldest brother had a good high school career, but he tore his ACL January of his senior year, so that kind of derailed it. And then my second oldest brother was a 3-sport athlete, you know, so he was all over the place.
Gotcha. Hey, so going from, so you did recruit a little bit at West Georgia. So you're now like in charge at center. Where are you demographically trying to locate now as a recruiter? I mean, I know a lot of people will have to change where, especially at lower levels like us at Division III and Division II. You can't just keep recruiting in the same place that you were. Luckily, it didn't change drastically, but I didn't know if that would impact you in a big way.
Yeah, I'll definitely get a lot more involved in Kentucky and in Cincinnati than I was at West Georgia. You know, but centers had some success with kids from Georgia and a few from Ohio. You know, so those are my 2 coaching stops. So I will be able to utilize some of those relationships. You know, but for the most part, we stick with, you know, in-state, just with in-state tuition costs. You know, that's a big part of it. And like you said, with the smaller schools and the budgets, it's a lot more reasonable to, you know, drive 2 hours to see a game and then come back than it is to, you know, be driving 6.5 hours and get in a hotel and everything. Especially too with the staff of just 3 guys. You know, we need to be on campus and, you know, be there for our current guys too. But to answer your question, a lot of Kentucky, a lot of Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati is where I'll be recruiting.
Awesome. So also, I'm sorry I'm sticking on recruiting, but what has been the best challenge or the best thing you've learned and the hardest challenge you've learned about moving from Division II to Division III? And it can go off recruiting as well.
Yeah, I think you know, the best thing, and I'm a little familiar from playing Division III. It's been a couple of years now, but I think the best thing is, you know, for casual basketball fans, like in Division III, you're more than likely going to be recruiting a lot more kids than you would at other levels. You know, that's because we don't have scholarships. You know, so it's just harder. You know, but you get to talk to a lot more people, a lot more coaches, a lot more parents. Which has been fun, you know. And then, like I said, the challenges without having scholarships, it is harder. You know, you really don't have much to offer the kid. You know, a spot on the team, a chance to compete, a good education, which are all really valuable, but they're not a $25,000 scholarship, which, you know, a lot of kids go for. But you know, Division III, it's a great level. Like I said, if you come to center and you get a degree from here, you know, you're going to be okay. Just tapping into that alumni network and, you know, having a degree from center, especially in the Midwest, really speaks volumes. You know, so that's kind of a big difference. But like I said, I'm being a sponge. I'm still learning and getting my feet wet a little bit, so to speak.
Okay, so being a sponge, you got to tell me, what is the one quote from Coach Moore that you got that's like, okay, I'm going to remember that forever?
From Coach Moore at West Georgia?
Yes.
Winning is in the details.
Winning is in the details.
Winning is in the details. And that goes for, you know, putting together the itinerary and what times are on there. And that goes for ball screen coverage and execution. You know, it's the little, and that's something I'm really lucky I learned at a young age. Like, if you don't do the little things right, you know, there's exceptions, of course, but if you don't do the little things right, it's going to be really hard to you know, do the big things on the big stage when the time comes.
Winning is in the details. What is it? Also, little things make big things happen, that John Wooden said. So that's absolutely.
What you just said there at the end too reminded me of the quote that I think Nate Casey used to tell it to us too all the time, and it's a pretty popular quote from, I guess, a Navy SEAL. It's like, you know, you don't rise when things get tough. You don't rise to the occasion. You sink to the level of your training or whatever. Kind of.
Oh yeah, he did love that one.
Yeah, he did love that one. That's a good one. A lot of truth, a whole lot of truth to that. Hey, what was y'all's record against each other this year?
2-2.
Oh, 2-2.
We took the first two at their place, and then they came and they got us.
Y'all
The
both
first
stole
one-
each other's home?
Well, the thing was too is like when we played each other the second time, we had both. I guess we might have just come off a loss to Shorter. No,
Yeah,
was
the
it?
game before? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
So like it was like a little wake up call. Like we had to get it together, and we're playing West Georgia. West Georgia's just won like 8 straight. So it's like we just lost one, but we're also like one of the hottest teams in the conference, and or probably the hottest, but they are the hottest, I guess. So they've won 8 straight, and they come, and it is just a dogfight. The first game, just a dogfight. It's just a battle. We actually, one of our players missed like a little floater off the backboard to win it, like off an offensive rebound, and then they come out the second game and they just drum us. I mean, they just beat the brakes off us. It did not go well.
Well, you remember that Saturday game? We were down 16-0.
Oh yeah. They
What?
they beat the brakes off of us, and we were up 16-0.
Oh my God.
Like because like we had talked with them, and they just like our guys like responded really well. They came out, and then it was like West Georgia got in a rhythm, and they just started playing. And I would say, yeah, like West Georgia, they ended up having a really good year.
Who was better?
Tough to say. We both went out of the round of 32.
Yep.
Both went out.
I mean, I'm gonna go with us, obviously.
There we go, Nate. There we go.
And he's gonna go with West Georgia.
Thank you.
But
Thank you. That's what I wanted. That's exactly
You're
what I
gonna-
was for.
Yeah, but no, I mean, honestly, like everybody in the Gulf South, I think talks about it. I mean, the runs that Lee had, that West Georgia had, were phenomenal, and I think Nate would agree that like for us, there was no secret sauce. Like guys were just a lot more unselfish, and had a high level of urgency. Like it's not really complicated stuff. And I don't know, Nate. I thought you guys were the same in terms of just being together, being for each other. You guys' bench was loud and everything, and I assume that was a part of your guys' run as well.
yeah, I mean, and the biggest thing is sustaining it right with culture. So I definitely think you hit the nail on the head. Is just urgency in everything you do. So yeah, that's great.
It sounds like both y'all, Mark. Obviously, you just left, but y'all have been at two places that have a very solid culture.
What's funny, Asa, is they're very similar programs.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk, and I'm like, wait, it's like the Spider-Man meme, where they're like pointing at each other. Same thing.
That's funny. That's
pretty cool, though, seriously. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I wanted to hear y'all's side about how the year went, and just think. I didn't know that y'all were 2-2 though.
Yeah, we went 2-2. That was it.
Y'all gonna have to schedule each other in the future to break the tiebreaker.
Hey, come on, Center, and come down right now. We got an open date. We tweeted about the other day. Open date November 16th. Come on.
Oh man. I'll see what we can do. It's up to the boss man.
Well played. Hey, Asa, you ready for rapid fire?
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead. Coach, you mind doing some rapid fire with us?
Let's do it.
We'd like to have a little fun at the end of the show, so we'll see how this goes. All right, here we go. Last technical, or if maybe you've never gotten one.
My technical?
Yeah.
My last technical?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. As a player, high school JV, tried to dunk in warm-ups. The refs were out. Technical.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yep.
I hated that rule. That no dunking rule. They finally changed.
I really hated it too.
They probably changed that right after you got that technical.
They did, and I started that game. I did the jump ball, and as soon as I did the jump ball, the sub came to the table. I knew I was coming out. But no text as a coach. Hope I don't want to say yet, but no text as a coach yet. Couple bench warnings, but no tees.
Good. Okay. Have you dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim?
I have.
Yeah. In a game?
Not in a game.
Not in a game. All right. Okay. You're up 3 at the end of a game. Do you foul or let it play out?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it depends on the time, but like
8 seconds.
I'm found, and the reason for that is you can go back and look at Clark State versus Edison State in 2017. I told Marco Garcia, my guy, I told him, I said, if he gets past you, you got to foul. He didn't. They hit a 3. We lost in overtime. So I'm a foul guy. That really scarred me.
Nate's brother sent us something. Nate, I'm about to pull. Nate's brother sent us something the other day. It was in a G League game, and it was where I think hang on, Nate. Sorry, give me a second. I'm pulling this up. Well, whatever. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. All right. Okay. My fault. Next question. All right. Leave your best player in with 2,000 the first half.
Generally, no. If it's a win or go home game, maybe that's different. But generally, no.
Mm-hmm.
Take them out.
Okay. Go for the tie. Go for the win.
Go for the better shot.
I like it. Good answer.
I like it. A little improv right there.
Yeah. Good answer. Okay. Professional or casual on the sideline?
That's hard. I mean, casual, but I'm going with what my head coach says. Period.
Okay, you are the head coach. What are you choosing?
If I'm the head coach, I'm going. I like khakis and the quarter zip from last year. That was a good.
That
fit.
was so nice.
Khakis and the quarter zip.
100%.
It's a great combo. Okay, early morning practice or evening or night practice?
Can you say both?
2 days.
Evening or night. I think evening or night. It's the same time you're playing. I think there's value in that.
Okay, if you were not coaching basketball, what would you be doing?
If I weren't coaching basketball, I would be an accountant. Probably right now, I'd be just leaving public accounting, looking for my private job.
Okay.
Not very basketball. A little more fun. Basketball a little more fun.
A little bit different environment than a. You play any golf?
I don't. Everybody, I need to. Everybody keeps asking me.
Nate and I play golf a bit. So normally I would ask, what's your handicap in golf here? You ever go to Top Golf?
That one too. I haven't. I need to though. I really need to.
Gotta get up.
Mark, you got to get on it. You got to get on it.
Next time I'm in Cleveland.
Absolutely. Come on.
All right. Should every team make the conference tournament? No. Why not?
Like you got to perform. I think you got to perform during the year. I mean, every conference is different. I don't know if it should be top 4, but top 8. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah. All right. Last one. LeBron or Jordan?
I'm gonna get some heat for this, man, but I'm Bron all the way. I got a lot of respect.
Gosh.
I got a lot of respect for Jordan.
You have made you. Oh my goodness! This is what this podcast needed. What is this, Asa? This is episode 50.
Or do you want to come back next week?
Episode 50. What we
49? This is 49, Nate. 49.
This is 49.
Yeah, this is 49.
Dude, I've been off today.
I think you're our second LeBron coach.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're our second. Everybody just scoffs at me.
It's got to be third. Chase went.
Chase went LeBron. Yeah, we maybe had 3.
I think we got 3.
Look, I understand, but flopping is part of the game in the NBA. That's what casual fans don't get. Like, that's what they do. You get those calls. That's what you do. And yeah, I mean, Bron has his flaws, but I'm until I don't know, maybe it'll change in 10 years, but right for me right now, he's the one.
Boom, book it. That's it. That's all you need to say right there. That's it.
I love it. I love it. If that's the best way to end the podcast, I mean, there's no better way.
Case closed. Well, hey, Coach Schult, man, we appreciate you coming on. It was a pleasure having you, a pleasure talking to you. Where can people find you on social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever?
Yeah, probably the best place is Twitter, just at Coach Mark Schult. Just all one word, no caps, no underscores. And then if you go on our website, there's my phone and email and everything are on there as well, centerkernels.com.
Great. Well, as always, you can find myself on Instagram at the Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find Nathan on Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find him on Instagram at Nate5_Moran. You can find Mind of a Coach on Twitter at Mind of a Coach Pod, and you can find us on Instagram at Mind of a Coach. Coach Schult, again, thank you, sir. It was a blast.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me on, and good luck in your seasons.
Best of luck to you as well.